Yeah, I praise the Lord for there being 5 baptisms today. I praise the Lord for that. And I gotta admit, the Richland Bridge Church is the best church I ever been to in my life. I have never been to a church that made me feel very good about myself. I have never found a church that made me feel as good as this particular church. And I have never been to a church that teaches Bible prophecy like this Richland Bridge Church does. And also, today at church, today at church, I remember a older lady shook my hand. Her hand was cold. Told me that to I shouldn't be so quiet, you know, this and that. But there were other people that were quiet. I think the reason why she said that is, you see, people were crossing the people were pointing their feet, their foot, crossing their legs and pointing their foot towards me. So I did about like the same thing they did. I mirrored their defensive body language. They show defensive body language towards me. I do the same thing back. And her hands were cold, so that's probably why she shook my hand. And not just that, amazing thing is, there was this other, this was unexpected. This other woman, I praise the Lord for this because she was a bit thick. She was a Hispanic woman, and I praise the Lord for this. She went up to talk to me. I think she was asking me about something about whether I was part of the baptism, or that's what I can hear her saying. You know, she was kind of hot, I admit. But the thing is, my mind was blank. I was just silent. I didn't have much to say to her. I mean, she was kind of my type, which I praise the Lord for that. And the other thing is, there was this pastor named Pastor Ramon. I just got the vibe from him. Now before that, there was this woman that before she walked too close to me, like she invaded my personal space. She reminded me of this Korean woman in Guam that walked too close behind me. And the reason why I think women do this, people do this, is to show how superior they are to you. That's how I view it. When a person invades my personal space like that, gets too close to me, I personally view it as you're trying to show that you're superior and better than me. So basically, this woman, she was a bit too close. I had my legs. I learned from last time, so I you know, had the defensive body lines. Kind of did this and crossed my foot towards her. Prevent her from getting too close to me. And thankfully, she got the message. And then there was this pastor. He wasn't the preacher. There was this female. This other preacher, but this pastor. I mean, he wasn't preaching this Sabbath, but he basically uh he basically went to sit beside this good single mom, woman. I found her attitude more better than her daughter, than her young adult daughter. She sings, her and her daughter, sometimes at Richland Bridge Church. And I could get the vibe from Pastor Ramon that he kind of like disliked me. It's not so much about my appearance. Yeah, my appearance has some role to play, but he's a good man. Don't misunderstand. Pastor Ramon, that Hispanic uh, guy, he's a very good man. I admit he is a very good man. But even though if he's the type who would favor a stranger. He would favor a woman that's a stranger over his male best friend. Even though if he's that type, he's that type who he would betray his best friend, his male best friend, over a random woman. I mean, he's a pretty good man. Now, what this is my problem. He was using now this particular good single mom woman. She was crossing her legs toward me, right? So I crossed my leg. This is the interesting thing, the really ridiculous thing. She was crossing her legs. I mean, she crossed her legs and pointed her foot toward him, right? And instead of him doing it back to her, he decided to be a he decided to rub me off the wrong way, cross his legs and point his foot toward me and irritate me like that, rub me off the wrong way. So I did the same thing. I crossed my legs, pointed my foot toward him. And he had the arrogance, he had the audacity, like he was walking back and forth, because I understand, he was doing his job, basically, making sure that everything works out okay, the equipment, the cameras, all that. And he had the audacity to invade my personal space, to exert, to be like a woman, be like most of these women where they walk too close to you and invade your personal space. He had the audacity to do that. He had the boldness, the arrogance to do such a thing. He really rubbed me off the wrong way. And I got the vibe that he really did not like me hanging around that good single mom woman, that good singer woman. Because even though if he has a wife and a daughter and they're kind of in a distant relationship, he views her as a backup. But I guess the thing that I can tell her and him are pretty good together because they're both kind of in the same thing. But I can tell the reason why she'd probably be into me is I'm a younger man. She probably likes a young man that she can cheer up, who's depressing down like myself, that she can control. You know, because Pastor Ramon, I mean, he's an alpha male. You know, but probably clash sometimes, but still. I decided to leave her alone. But I'm telling you, if Pastor Ramon rubs me off the wrong way again, if he rubs me off the wrong way again, then I don't give a damn. I'm still going to hang around that good singer woman, you know. I'm still gonna hang around her, and I'm still gonna probably talk to her if something comes to my head when I have the chance to. If he rubs me off the wrong way one more time, I'm telling you. And other than that, and there was this other middle-aged woman, looked pretty young for her age. She reminded me. She's a much better version of this woman that was in the Philippines that was nosy, this and that. Thankfully, she's not as nosy as her, but I can sense that her and that other woman were quite similar, though. They're quite similar to each other. So basically, amazing thing is, I'm trying to remember. The shocking thing is, I remember in the morning, this other guy, older man that she knows, he tried to shake her hand, and she said she doesn't feel like shaking hands, right? So I thought no shaking of hands, and there was no shaking of hands and no greeting this Sabbath, interestingly enough. And the amazing thing is, she actually tried to shake my hand, right? And this was the vibe I could get. She tried to shake my hand to assert her dominance over me, you know, to show that she's dominant, right? But I proved it. But I also assert my dominance as well. Someone touches me, I touch it back, certainly, because I'm absolutely dominant. I'm very domineering, and I ain't changing that for nobody. And another thing is, church was pretty good. Potluck wasn't that, food wasn't as great as usual, but potluck was pretty good. I really love those vegetarian patty stuff. Tastes real good. Those vegetarian, burgers, those are great. Vegetarian burgers with those mushrooms, that was great. Potluck was great. I enjoyed it. And the people, they were using defensive body language towards me for no good reason. Certain people, no good reason to use defensive body language towards me for no good reason at all. So that's why I say my experience was okay originally at the Richmond Bridge Church today. And I say it is what it is. People are people. You know. But anyway, at least I'm being honest and real, because I don't see a point in putting on an act. I don't see a point in keep pretending to be something that I'm not. I try to keep it as truthful and as honest and as real as I can. Anyways, many prayers to you and many blessings to you.